Hello everybody and welcome back to iCommand, and this is TV Boy, and we've got another game log review for you, this time from the top 4 matches of the March Season 9 IACP Skirmish Tournament. Just to recap, we had, starting on March 11th, we had a free tournament. The winner gets a set of custom dice, and we had 10 players sign up for that tournament, so we had 3 rounds of Swiss, and we ended up with actually a undefeated player after 3 rounds of Swiss, which was Josh with the Weak White Pirates. But what we decided to do after round 2, going into round 3, was we decided to do a top 4 cut. The reason for that is because it's why would you do a top 4 cut if you have a clear winner at the end of 3 rounds? Because you only have 10 people, and the way the pairings and the pair downs worked is we ended up with a single undefeated player. And the reasoning for that is just that because if you don't do a top 4 cut, I realize now, then what happens is after 2 rounds, it basically just becomes a double elimination tournament. And if you, actually, it's more like a single elimination tournament, really, because if you lose 1 round in the tournament, you're pretty much out of contention for first place and the first place prize. So that's why we're doing a top 4. We're going to be doing top 4 cut for the remainder of the season, I think. We might even do top 8 if we get enough people. We actually had 16 players playing in our April tournament, which is just fantastic. I'm so happy to see that we're getting more turnout. I think that's probably one of the biggest tournaments we've had in a long time, and maybe even a couple years. So really happy to see the Skirmish online game is growing. But anyway, back to the stuff. So this is going to be a top 4 match. This is Derek versus Destruct. So as we saw, I did post that game of Destruct versus Josh, since that was the 2-2-0 players in round 3. Didn't go so well for Destruct. I think he made a miscalculation there on his positioning, and it kind of just cascaded out of control from there. It happens. But because of the way we did the top 4 cut, Destruct did end up getting the top 4. He got second place, which I think somebody told me is pretty much guaranteed. If you are in undefeated going into the last round and you lose, you'll probably end up second place based on the tiebreakers. So that means that for the top 4, the way the top 4 seeding works is first place plays against fourth place, and second place plays against third place. So we had Derek in fourth place with a 2-1 record, and gets to play against Destruct in the top 4. So Destruct getting a second chance to make it to first place and the win with this tournament structure. So let's get into the matchups. We've seen both of these lists before. As always, I post the lists or a link to the lists in the video description. So I'm not going to cover the lists individually this time, but we do have Han, Kotun, Cassian, a Smuggler list with Bodhi Rook for Destruct. I've got the Rogue Smuggler card up here, and I'll actually toggle it so you can see what Han looks like when he has this equipped. I don't think I've ever shown this in a video, or maybe not a recent one. But that's what Han looks like. That is from Heart of the Emperor, by the way. This is not an IACP fix. This is what FFG was doing before IACP took over. So you can kind of see how they inspired what we do with a lot of our IACP cards and designs. But there's Han in his updated version that was very good before IACP came along, after he went down to 10 points. And then he's playing against Derek, who is playing the Forlom Beast Tamer list. So that's Forlom with IG-11, Hondo, and then a bunch of sport figures. And that is making use of Forlom's ability to add a trait at the end of each round, or at the start of each round. He gains a trait, and so one of the best traits you can give him is the creature trait, which then lets him combo with Beast Tamer, and that excellent 5 speed, so he can basically move 10 spaces in attack. I think in the previous game I said he can move 8, because I thought he had speed 4. He has speed 5. I don't know why. I don't know why we made him speed 5 in season 3, but he is, so he works really well with Beast Tamer. The only problem is, though, he doesn't hit super hard. As you can see, he only has a surge for +1 damage. He does have surge for blast 1, but without a surge for +2 damage, it does kind of cap your dice, even if you're focused with 4 dice total. And then Creature Droid doesn't have the best offensive command cards to kind of boost his damage up. So that's why this has been quite balanced, actually, since it was discovered at the end of season 3, this combo. but we'll get to see what Derek does with it. He's also got IG-11 in the list as well. Also, targeting computer on the Forlom, again mentioned. Forlom kind of struggles with his attack damage output, so the targeting computer is going to be helpful here for giving him a re-roll to make sure his dice rolls aren't too bad. Alright, so let's see. We're playing on Counter Slice, so we'll get to see Destruct and how he plays this differently on this map once again. Last time was on Infiltration Games. This time going to be the same map, but a different mission. So Counter Slice is both players still need to be picking up these taps, which are at the back of the deployment zones. These databanks are worth 2 VPs each for the player that controls them at the end of each round. But the twist is that a figure that is carrying a tap can interact with these databanks to flip them from the gray side up to the colored side. And a databank that has colored side up is worth 5 VPs at the end of each round for the player that controls it. And you don't have to spend the tap to do this. You don't have to discard the tap. You don't install the tap like you do in the other mission. You keep the tap. So the figure that's holding the tap can just run around and flip all these databanks over. Also, you can flip them to the gray side back down. So if your opponent is going to control it, and you don't have to control them either to do that, I think. To interact, flip. Yeah, so if your opponent has the databanks and they're both colored side up, and you know you're not going to be able to control them, but you know you're probably not going to be able to contest them, you could go and flip them face down to decrease the number of points your opponent might get from them. Alright, so Destruct is starting up on the red deployment zone with initiative, so deciding to mix it up and go for the red zone this time instead of the blue zone like last time. And we see that he has already moved some of his figures. That is because of Cassian's strike team in combination with Bodhi's smooth landing. So that's going to give some power tokens here to Jin, Han, and Cassian. Also, R2 needed to move outside the deployment zone because the terminal is too far away for R2 to reach normally. So going to give a damage power token to R2. We'll see if that matters. Normally I would say it's probably not going to matter that much, but you know, sometimes R2 tries to mix it up. And that damage token will mean that he doesn't roll the 0 damage side of the dice at least. Okay, so let's see. We've got 8 activation. No, is it 9 activations? Wow, 9 activations for Destruct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 activations for Derek. So Destruct is going to get the last activation here. So we're moving stuff around. And I'm going to deploy the Jawa for Derek up against the door. Destruct is moving stuff around with his smooth landing. I would think he'd want... Oh, he's going to reset. We're going to redo things. So we're going to have Jin and R2, and then Han and Cassian. Okay, so Cassian's moving Han. There we go. Okay, I mean, that looks pretty much the same. But now he's got the Alliance Smuggler on the tap, as well as Bodhi on the tap, so definitely the 2 figures he wants to be retrieving those tokens. Alliance Smuggler especially good since he can use Smuggler's Instincts. The Alliance Smuggler can actually, if Destruct opens this door, the Alliance Smuggler can actually go retrieve the tap, gain 2 movement points to here, and then move action 1, 2, 3, 4, and be controlling the databank on the same turn. You can't interact with the databank though, because it's just too many actions for him, so he's still only going to be getting 2 points. But he's a good one to control the databank. Actually, we'd want to stand here, so he's as far away from Derek's figures as possible. That -2 accuracy can be really helpful on this mission. Alright, so we are starting off with R2 for Destruct. Gonna go ahead and draw a card, it looks like. Derek's drawn his opening hand. Derek's gonna activate... Oh, gonna give the creature trait to Forlom. And gonna activate his R2. Interesting to point out the differences in the positioning here. Destruct has put his R2 here away from the door. Derek has put his R2 here up against the door. I think this is actually correct for both of these sides. I think the reason for that is, as the red player, you can then move a figure onto here and then open that door and attack next round. And then as the blue player, Derek is giving himself the option to open the door with R2 and then block line of sight to his other figures if he does that. So it'll be interesting to see how that positioning plays out. It can make a big difference, because if you put R2 here, it might mean that a figure can't stand on this space to be able to open the door and then get out of the way on the next round. Alright, Gideon activating for Destruct, going to... Oh, what is happening with Cassian? Interesting. Repositioned Cassian to the left side, and then focused up Jin Odon. Okay, 3PO focusing up Hondo for Derek, and then Destructs 3PO going to focus up Han Solo, and moves to stand next to Jin Odon and Han. Really cool thing about 3PO with Han and Jin Odon is his distracting ability and how it combines with Han's and Jin's cunning ability to give them an extra block in addition to the extra surge cancel. Alright, after we're going to activate for Derek, you're going to pick up the tap and move. There we go. He's moving right next to R2-D2. Normally this space is not safe if you have the door open, but if R2-D2 stands here and blocks line of sight, it's pretty good. R2-D2 very tanky for 3 points. Probably one of the tankiest, most durable 3-point figures in the game. He's got 6 health for 3 points, which is high. Then he's got lucky, so he's got dodges on 33% of the dice rolls. And he's got service, so he can recover 1 damage for an action. So he's quite hard to kill. And honestly, I never feel too bad when I lose my R2 if it's in like round 2 or 3. Okay, so Gideon activated for Derek, focused up Forlom, and moved Hondo 2 spaces to stand next to his 3PO. We've got Kotun activating. It looks like Kotun did give a surge cancel token to Han. And now going to give another one to Jin, which again, great combo with the cunning ability. And Kotun's actually going to be the one to open the door here. Now this does leave the smuggler a little bit exposed here in terms of line of sight. So somebody like Hondo or IG-11 even could come and take a shot, but because of that slippery ability, probably not good for them to do that. But I think you can actually put the smuggler here, and he'll be, like if you had another figure that wasn't a smuggler, you'd probably want to put them here, and then that way you're still the same distance away from the databank, but it's much harder to draw line of sight to the smuggler from there. I think you'd have to be like up here or something. But anyway, smuggler is there. Let's get our map refocused. Recentered. Okay, Kotun's going to stand next to 3PO, and it looks like... Whoa, is this Hondo playing planning? Yeah, Hondo is a leader. Going to play planning here to draw 2 cards for Derek, and then I'm going to move into the space behind the blocking train, and still next to C-3PO. Okay, that smuggler is going to activate here. Who do we have left? We've got Jin, Han, and Cassian. I guess now that Hondo has gone, he's not feeling as threatened to put the smuggler here. But Derek could still open the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can only get IG here and attack. But he can also attack with Forlom. So that Jaw is probably going to open the door, and then Forlom can come up and attack the smuggler. So this is a risky play. If he goes for the play I'm thinking he's going to go for, yeah, on that databank. Oh, he's not going to stand next to the databank. Okay, nice. So he is going to stay pretty safe, and then going to probably try to flip it next round. Yeah, Forlom certainly complicates things and is going to make things difficult for Destruct here. Being able to move 10 spaces and still attack with a ranged attack, quite good on this map especially. It's going to force Destruct to be pretty conservative with his placement until he can get the activation chain that he needs with last activation into first. He is going to have last activation this round, which is going to be helpful with Han, but he's not going to have first activation next round, guaranteed at least, unless he gets lucky with a take initiative. Or a make your own luck. I think he does play make your own luck in this list, and that cannot be negated, so Alright, Jawa opening the door and able to stand on the data bank thanks to that. The Jawa is not controlling the tap though, and it's interesting that Derek has Forlom on the tap, so I think he's going to have Forlom pick up the tap. Jin Odon just going to move 2 spaces to the south, still next to 3PO. Yeah, okay. So Forlom picks up the tap. I think that makes sense, since he has effectively 3 actions. It does make sense to have Forlom doing on tap duty. He could have actually... Whoa, could he have actually flipped a databank there? Right, if he's standing here and he goes action, pick it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, he's 1 space short. He's 1 space short from flipping the databank on round 1. But that would be pretty dangerous with Han being able to come down and take an end around shot. Although he could have body blocked with the Jawa there. So if he had like a movement point card, I wonder if that would have been actually worth it just to get that extra 5 points. But Han is going to go for... Looks like he's going to go for the Jawa here. The nice thing about having 9 activations means you always have last activation against an 8 activation list. Now Han is in danger if he stands there, but the cool thing is that it's almost impossible for Derek to get a one-way line of sight on Han. So this is a really good spot for Destruct to put Han, I think. Especially if he has Make Your Own Luck, but just to kill this Jawa, hopefully, probably, most likely. And then he's in a spot where Derek can come and attack Han, but he's going to be attacking into that Cunning plus evade power token, and he's going to have to eat a return fire from Han. So I think Han might actually want to save his damage power token here, because he can definitely take out a Jawa with hidden and a reroll. But let's see what he does. Okay, he's going to back up just a space. So he is controlling that data bank, so both players are going to get 2 VPs at the end of the round. Derek says he needs to count some spaces. Oh, Destruct saying he needs to count some spaces. Okay, Han going to stand as far back as possible. So he's checking his range, so I think that means he is going to spend the power token so he can get the accuracy bonus. Because right now he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is kind of far for a comfortable Han shot, even with focus. It's not, especially against a white dice. It's not a guaranteed hit, but with the +2 accuracy, it would be. I would say 8 is my comfort zone with Han when he's focused, with nothing else. He'll stand there just in case. Okay. So both players are going to draw 2 cards. Both players are going to get 2 VPs. It's nice that they're in text chat so I can actually understand what's going on. Okay. And now end of round shot. He is going to spend the token. So it is kind of a lot of extra ammunition to put into this little Jawa. But he probably thinks he has an advantage by standing that far back. I don't know. So that Jawa is definitely dead, even with the +1 block from Take Cover. Yep. So Destruct gonna get 3 points. 10 damage. 10 damage, yeah. Let's see, did he have the accuracy? He did, right? It was range, what did we say it was? Range 9. Yeah, he had the accuracy. But he was definitely, Destruct was definitely thinking about the miss there, right? Like low rolling on the accuracy, which would be 2, 1, 1, 1, which would be 5, 6, 7. He could have rolled as low as 7. That's why I say 8 is kind of where I'm comfortable at with a Han attack. You know, you can go for range 10. It's not terrible, but 8 is like guaranteed. Didn't need the accuracy, but it never hurts though, he says. Yep. It just does mean he doesn't have it for the return fire here, which might hurt because now I think Derek can outrange him, can outrange Han with like Hondo. Okay, initiative's gonna go to Derek. Gonna make Forlom a creature. Derek gonna excavate planning. His only option to excavate, but it's a good one for sure. That's just 2 free cards for no card investment. And what is this? What are we playing here? In the Shadows. Ooh, I love it. Some tech. Smuggler or Hunter. Use at the start of the round. Until the end of the round, hostile figures 4 or more spaces away from you do not have line of sight to you. You do not block line of sight for those figures. Nice. Okay, so that's why he did that. So 4 or more, so they have to be here to hit Han. So Han is effectively unattackable. That's great. So if he had put him here, then he could have attacked from here. That's why he was counting spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, Forlom can still get him, but he's gonna eat an attack, and then Han's gonna run away. Han's gonna attack him again and run away. So this is a really good play. I like this in the Shadows play. Decrease your Forlom shenanigans. No other end of round, so no. Derek says that's what you think. Uh-oh. Alright, so Derek is going to start with Forlom. Okay, so Forlom activating. I'm going to use Beast Tamer for the free movement. Ooh, also going to play Worth Every Credit here. So now has 7, 12 movement. Always going up the middle. And he's going for the attack on Kotun with the blast as well. Is there a card being played? Oh, with a hit and run. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's see. I think he started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He had 12, so he's got 5 left. He's +3 is 8. He's going to be able to move back to his hidey hole from there. That's insane. 16 movement with hit and run. So hit and run, worth every credit, is 5. He's got 10 movement total from a move action and from Beast Tamer. So yeah, he's got 15 movement points. He only moved 7 to get there, so that's crazy. Alright, focus attack on Kotun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's definitely got the accuracy. And he's got the surges for some blast and some concussive bolt. Interestingly, he can push Kotun before he applies the blast, but I don't think it matters here. I guess he could get Jin, a damage onto Jin instead of Bodhi, but I wonder if that's what he wants to do. He could also, he can't push her away before 3PO applies distracting though. So that's during the attack. Needs 6 range. No, it's not 6, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's range 5. Oh, but he's got range 7 because of the +2 accuracy. Rerolls with targeting computer. Gonna use the surge for blast. So that's gonna do 5, 6, 7. So 6 damage to Kotun and blast 1 to Bodhi and 3PO. Oh, never mind. They just remembered to apply 3PO's distracting. So I think Derek made a mistake re-rolling. That is how you would do it, though. You have to re-roll first, and then the opponent applies defensive modifiers because it's wall a figure is defending. So kind of got him with that one. Destruct saying he can. Oh, Destruct's being a real good sport. He's saying he could undo the reroll there, saying he forgot to mention 3PO, but Derek saying no, I should have known it was there. So gonna take the reroll he went with. So that's gonna be 6 damage to Kotun. Wow, we're gonna play opportunistic as well on who? Whoa, and Wild Fury. This is quite the command card combo here. So he didn't spend that action to move. So he had 5 plus 5, so he had 10 movement. Now he's gonna have 13 movement. So he spent 7, so you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can actually get back to here after all this is over, and then he'll be stunned and bleeding. But wow, this is crazy. So he's gonna do a second attack here with Wild Fury. I've never seen this combo go off like this before. How many cards is this? So refocus. And element? Holy cow. No cards for destruct. Oh, that roll is awful. Oh. Wow. Let's see if targeting computer can bail him out of that roll. Goes for the reroll on the red. That's interesting. Probably would have gone for the reroll on the green. I mean, he has accuracy. Just so you can get some more damage pips. Like if you get a double damage pip there. He did get one extra damage pip, but he got a surge he didn't need. Wow, yeah, is he alive there? 1, 2, 3. 3 damage on Kotun, who has, what, 11 health? Oof. 3 damage, blast 1, and weaken. That makes Derek sad, he says. And now Derek says he has 6 movement points left. Oh, why there though? No, why there? Why not go here? Oh, because Han's there. I forgot Han is there, so it's not a safe spot. He can move. He can probably move Forlom back with Gideon. I think that's probably his plan. Use the second action to attack because he got assault from Wild Fury. Okay, wow, that was a lot of command cards. That was, how many was that? 5 card combo. And the problem here though is he can't push Forlom back into position because he's going to be stunned. Yeah, Derek says he's debating final placement. I think here is still better. Like, yeah, you get shot by Han, but if you put him here, you get shot by everything. Everything in Destructless can just open up on Forlom there. Let's see. Derek says it's the best spot. Needs 1 more movement point. Yep. Stunned and bleeding from Wild Fury. Alright, Jin's gonna go for the kill, or for the attack on Forlom. This is where that extra accuracy from Bodhi is gonna really pay off. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Range 7. Range 6 is kind of my sweet spot for Jin when she's focused. Spends the damage token. +1 accuracy. So that would have been range 6. Although she does get a surge for +2. +2. Surge for +2 damage. So 6 damage to Forlom. 7 because of the +1 damage. And then Jin gonna use Sidewinder. Gonna discard the top card of Destruct's command deck for the strain, and able to move right back into position next to 3PO. So great move there. Might actually even want to be 1 lower. I feel like, I mean, that space, as we saw, I can get line of sight from here, but I think Derek's maybe out of movement cards, so it's probably fine. Might as well be at the bottom. As long as it's not Lamb. Okay, gonna block line of sight to Forlom with 3PO. Focused IG-11. Cassian gonna go for an attack on 3PO here. Spends a power token, and 3PO is gonna reroll, I think, to survive. Oh, wrong dice. Rerolls with Kotun. Derek rerolls. I think that's dead. Not a dodge. Yep, so 3PO goes down. Destruct now up 7-2. It'll be interesting to see when Cassian decides to sacrifice somebody for that bonus attack. Alright, Derek gonna draw a card with R2. Interesting, Destruct gonna draw a card with R2, not feeling a need to finish off Forlom here. And moves up against the door. Okay, Gideon gonna move Aphra and focus Aphra. Destruct gonna activate 3PO, focuses Kotun. Gideon gonna move down and focus Han. Derek passed. Derek passing again. Okay, Smuggler is going to use the tap to flip the databank and then stand on it. So now Destruct's feeling a lot safer with that Smuggler. Alright, Derek going to use the excavated planning here with Hondo, it looks like. And then going to block line of sight to Forlom. Oh, so he drew two, and now he's moving Hondo out into the open. So I feel like that's telegraphing something. And yep, Destruct saying that's a lamb play right there on the lamb being telegraphed. But going to move up with Kotun, attack Hondo. Oh, able to spend Cassian's token. Thanks to Kotun's ability. Squad cohesion. Okay, Derek's thinking here. Oh, he's gonna YOLO it. It's gonna just have Hondo take it. I think if he's hoping that if he can survive, if he can survive this attack, he could have the lamb for the second one and spread some damage around. 3, that is a lot of damage. Oh, but the weekend is gonna stop the surge. So right now 7 damage. Oh, 8 damage. Gonna reroll green. Oh, trying to fish for that extra surge. That's what he was doing. So now it takes 7 instead of 8. So this might pay off. I think that was right to go for the 9. If he could punish that play, that high risk play by Derek, he's not punishing anything with 8 damage versus 7. It's the 9 damage that will punish Derek for not using On the Lamb there. But now what he's done is Derek has tanked an attack, and now he can use On the Lamb on the second attack against Hondo to protect Forlom going into the next round. Okay, Aphra going to open the door, and then going to control these 2 databanks. Because really the only thing that can threaten Aphra right now is Bodhi has not activated and Han has not gone. But Han can threaten with a movement card and end of round attack, so this might be a risky play. Oh, but Derek does have On the Lamb, so no matter who he goes for. Okay, Bodhi gonna open the door. That makes sense. Okay. Okay, there's the urgency. Oh, from Derek on IG-11. So I'm gonna move 7, but he can't quite get line of sight because of where R2 is standing. Can he shoot at Bodhi? I wonder if it's better to just shoot at Bodhi there. Because if he kills Bodhi, he'll get line of sight to Kotun, and then he could finish Kotun as well. Yeah, I don't know about this attack on R2. I think attacking Bodhi makes more sense for me here. Kill Bodhi, kill Kotun with rapid fire. Bodhi's giving Destruct so much value. And it also deprives him of something to sacrifice to Cassian next round as well. But he might. It looks like he got the kill on R2, so that's good. Okay, now we're gonna go for Bodhi. Oh, Bodhi gets the dodge though. So maybe that worked out better for him than my plan would have, since he did get the kill on R2. Although I guess he would have killed Bodhi and then Kotun was a black dice, so sad. What is he doing with Han? Oh, he's going to take the databank on the bottom left. but his end of round is going to get eaten by On the Lamb. And the other problem with this is there is a play where Derek can set up a one-way line of sight to attack Han, but Han's still really good shape. He's full health. He's still got an evade token. So, all right. So Derek's actually got the board under better control. Oh no, because Destruct flipped one of those databank tokens. So Destruct's getting 7 points to Derek's 4, but Destruct only going to draw one card with R2 dead. Okay, Han end of round attack targeting Hondo, and Destruct has to declare if he's using any card effects before Lamb gets played. So there's On the Lamb. Gonna move behind Forlom and cancel the attack. But Destruct is gonna get initiative here unless Derek has take initiative, but Destruct has a negate, so it's gonna be Destruct's initiative. Element of surprise being excavated by Afra. Oh, Destruct just drew that negation off the top there. Wow. Okay, so it is Destruct's activation. It's going to go with Han and going to take out Forlom. Oh, we're going to use Smuggled Supplies first to get the +1 evade from that. There we go. So using Smuggled Supplies, really good card with Han and Jin to get that +1 evade for the rest of the round. Especially since he's running Make My Own Luck, so he can activate with Han first. Okay, gonna attack. Gonna attack Forlom here, and gonna take out Forlom. So Destruct gonna go to 22 points. Derek's 9, and then wow, interesting. Han gonna move up, standing next to Hondo and Gideon. Is that a one-way line of sight though? So yeah, now Derek can move Hondo here and attack Han without getting return fired, unless Destruct plays On the Lamb with it. But okay, guild programming gonna activate IG-11 with guild programming. So rapid fire, they're both gonna be focused. I imagine he probably wants to do the play again, Bodhi and Kotun here. Because if he attacks Gideon, he doesn't get to attack Kotun behind him. Yeah, gonna go for Bodhi. Needs him to not dodge. There we go. Bodhi goes down, Derek gets 2. Second attack, gonna use the element of surprise here, because he only needs to deal 2 damage, and it is a focused attack. But yeah, Derek's saying this is probably overkill. Oh, not gonna use it. Okay, yeah, not gonna use the element because he's focused. It's a black dice, and he's got the reroll. Yeah, that's enough. So Kotun goes down. Derek is gonna go to 18 points. Gonna move IG back behind Afra, and now Jin Odon gonna activate for Destruct. Gonna go for the attack on Afra. Now setting up the pin here with the hair trigger. So you can attack Afra. 5 damage. Oh, I used element. So 5 damage to Afra, and now Jin can just stand there, and it's going to be difficult for Derek to activate, because Afra's going to activate, then Jin Odon will use hair trigger to interrupt to attack. If Derek activates with something like R2 to like stand R2 here, block line of sight, then Destruct will just activate Gideon or something and go attack Afra before she can activate. Yeah, gonna use hair trigger. Oh, Derek's gonna activate R2. Did he exhaust Afra? No. Derek did not fall for that. So he's going for R2. Destruct was thinking Afra was gonna activate next. So R2 gonna activate, and then yeah, gonna go block line of sight. So now Gideon just activates and gonna attack. Oh, interesting. Not gonna try and kill Afra. Nice, but he used Gideon to move Jin Odon up next to, adjacent to Afra, so now there's no way for Derek to block line of sight. Bodhi dropped his tap. So now Derek probably doesn't want to activate Afra first. He probably wants to activate somebody that he can use Element of Surprise, because if Afra dies, he loses access to Element. Oh, he's gonna go for Afra here. That gives Destruct back-to-back activations, though. Yeah, Afra blanks. Destruct goes to 26. Uses Sidewinder to move back. What is this? Oh, discards run for cover for the strain from Sidewinder. And now Destruct gets to activate... Oh, he already activated Han. He just gets to activate Cassian here. What's happening? Derek... Yeah, Derek's trying to activate Gideon, but it's actually Destruct's activation. Okay, Cassian gonna activate here. And what is it? Oh, is this gonna be Sniper? Is this Sniper? He's using Sniper Configuration, which is Cassian's unique command card. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. So able to draw line of sight to Hondo via Han. So that, yeah, I think activating Afra was a bit of a misplay instead of going with Hondo first. But Hondo is also in a rough spot. It was going to be really hard to find a one-way line of sight to Han. But he could have moved up and like attacked, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he could only get here with Hondo. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he could have gotten, if he could have gotten here, he could attack Han, but yeah, Derek was in a rough spot. Not getting that kill on Khotun, I think, was rough, was where it kind of hinged on. No Bodhi though, so no Bodhi for the accuracy. Range 8 attack on Hondo. Oh yeah, he's got the range. And he's got the damage. So Hondo goes down, and that is 31 for Destruct to Derek's 18. And now Derek is just down to Gideon. Derek said it had a whole plan to use Gideon to block line of sight for return fire too. Yep, that's what he was going to have to do there. Either move Gideon out of the way or have Gideon stand somewhere where he blocks line of sight to Hondo. And even if he had gone with Gideon instead of Afra there to set it up, then I think Cassian would have gone and killed Hondo the way he did. So he kind of... Destruct had Derek trapped there. A very tight set of activations there with, because he had to do Afra, or excuse me, Jin Odon had to pin Afra as well, but I think he had it. 3PO gonna focus Jin Odon. Gideon going to go to control the databank. Smuggler is gonna move down just a little bit, and then Han, end of round attack on Gideon. Both players, let's see. Interestingly, Derek's actually gets 6 VPs and Destruct gets 5. And then here's the attack on Gideon. We got 6 against 2, so he's doing 4 damage. Should probably reroll that green and go for the kill. No, still gets just 4. And looks like we're gonna get to round 4. I believe let's see, Destruct had negated Take Initiative, so now it's Derek. So Destruct attempting to play Take Initiative on Derek. Derek has the negation, but Destruct has the Calm Disrupt. Oh, he has Make My Own Luck. Maybe not playing Calm Disrupt. So this is where he's going to activate, he's going to get the initiative back and be able to activate with Han. Kind of nice that he baited out the negation there with the Take Initiative. Okay, Han gonna go for the attack on Gideon to finish him off. Gideon goes down. Destruct goes to 39, and that's pretty much the game, since he's gonna go to 40 at the end of this round. Derek says if he kills Jin and Gideon, GG. GG. Alright, that was a cool game. That was a crazy combo with Forlom. I have not seen that one, so glad to have seen that game played out. And I think it was actually very close. It came down to some really tight play there from Destruct with Jin Odon and Han and Cassian really keying off of each other. You can see how much synergy that Han, Cassian, Kotun list has that it can put out. So that was top 4. So we're going to see Destruct advance to the finals, and then we're going to catch the other top 4 game, which is going to be Pwned, aka John, versus Josh. And that's going to be the next one we see. So please join me for that one tomorrow, and we'll see you next time.